So they're saying thousands of black kidney transplant candidates have been moved up on the wait list after testing bias was found. I guess these tests were claiming that our kidneys, the people on the wait list, our kidneys were healthier than they were, and therefore they didn't need them as soon as they probably did. It's Ricky Rich with Black Primacy. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications.
Recent months, more than 14,000 black kidney transplant candidates in the U.S. have been moved up on the waiting list. It comes after a widely used test was found to be racially biased. It was overestimating how well black people's kidneys were functioning, making them seem healthier than they actually were. So I want to bring in Dr. Fasika Tedla. He is the medical director of kidney and pancreas transplant at the Kahn School of Medicine at Mount Sinai. Thank you so much for joining us. Can you explain what this test was, how widely it was used, and the impact?
The test is a measure of your kidney function. It's called creatinine, and it measures what we call glomerular filtration rate, or it implies glomerular filtration rate, and we use a formula that converts that number into GFR. And that formula had a race coefficient that inflates GFR in African Americans.
And so the end result was that, as we mentioned, many more African Americans were seeming healthier, and so they weren't getting places on the transplant list. And so what happened as a result? What were some of the things that you were seeing as a doctor?
One is patients are not referred for transplant because their doctors may think their kidney function is better than it really is. And since wait time is the critical factor in getting a kidney transplant from the deceased donor wait list, they would lose time because they're not referred on time.
Mm-hmm. And then, I mean, that's got to have an impact on your health.
That's correct. So you would have longer time on dialysis, or you would wait longer for transplant, and because of that, your outcome could change, or your access to transplant could suffer.
Right, because your kidneys could even be further damaged by the time you make it onto a list, which I think would make your outcome even more challenging to become healthy. So what's happening now with all of these patients being moved up on the list is this is an attempt to help to make up for lost time, right? To sort of balance things out for them.
Yes, so the formula was changed, and since such that the risk factor is eliminated, a new formula based on newer studies was developed. And in June 2022, the national body that regulates transplant mandated that the new formula be used since that time. But there were patients who were already on the wait list who might have been affected by the use of the old formula. So it's retroactively applied to those patients. So if you find that their kidney function as measured by GFR would have been lower than what it was reported as using the new formula, then they would get that time back, and that helps them get more time on the transplant waitlist.
Well, I'm glad that this kind of historic wrong is being corrected, but it really makes you wonder how many other tests or algorithms are racially biased and having a negative impact on minorities and black folks in this country. Dr. Fasika Tedla, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wild. I did the video a few weeks ago on the black candidate for the pig transplant, kidney transplant, and that was weird to me. But I mean, I can kind of see how some people can get desperate. You know, it's like, look, I can't get a kidney. Now we find out that there's biasness. I'm just gonna go get this pig kidney. You know, it's silly, but I mean, at the same time, it's like, how were they even supposed to know? Nobody's medical professionals in most cases that are getting these kidney transplants. So I wouldn't even be. I just have to go off the words of the doctors, and then the numbers are skewed. But this is another example for those out there. Like I said, I get a lot of hate mail, hate comments on, oh, you know, Black people need to do this, black people need to do that. Yes, yes, there's certain things that we need to do and there's certain things that we can do, but at the end of the day, we're definitely still not anywhere near being treated fairly, and that's all we want for the most part. I would like to know that if I needed medical help, that uh, my race is not going to play a factor on my overall health. So beside that point, what can we do in these situations? We can do things that keep us out of needing a kidney transplant. And that's no slight to those out there that have those types of issues, but for those of us who don't have these issues yet, we need to, be more healthy. Do live a healthier lifestyle. Let's stay out of these situations that are heavily impacting the black community. If I'm not mistaken, we are uh, predominantly affected when it comes to kidney health. We are high in that area, diabetes, um, blood pressure, all of those types of areas. So, and it all goes back to what we can eat, and we can go down and go further, and talk about income disparities causing that. Like we we can go really far, but at the end of the day, we need to prioritize our health over other aspects when it comes to where we place our finances, right? So, I mean, I understand there's a struggle out there, and some people can't, but there are a lot of people, especially a lot of people that I've seen that go through certain health issues, and they spend their money on other things instead of eating healthy. I mean, that's the basic standpoint. Like, let's eat healthier, let's exercise, get up and go do 30 minutes a day of exercising. All right, let's turn off the Netflix and Hulu for 30 minutes at least and go do a walk around the corner and drink some water and eat a little bit healthier and get off these, and just separate ourselves from this type of stuff, because this is not something that we even have control over. If this study wasn't done, we just would have kept going, and it's still going to keep happening. All right, this is going to be a quiet study. This is not going to break the internet. It's not going to break the news. You're only going to really hear about it here on Black Primacy and maybe a few other outlets. And so yeah, there's a very small community of people that are going to hear about this. Um, but this is what we do at Black Primacy, trying to change the narrative the best way we can. It's Ricky Rich with Black Primacy. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on your notifications.